Hey, how you doing? This is Jonathan Smith once again, coming to you, and today we're going to talk about abolishments. Yes, like it was not enough for the reversions, and I think we went over the reversion thoroughly in the last video. Now we have to talk about abolishments. First of all, a lot of people do not understand what an abolishment is. An abolishment is when management makes a decision to eliminate a currently occupied job. And that's what's happening in particularly our Morgan facility, and we do have some notifications for our auxiliary pool that works out of the JAF facility within the Manhattan installation. Management is causing a lot of chaos. I just came back from California and Anaheim, meeting all the presidents around the country. So we are not alone. Everyone is going through the same thing that we're going through now, and management is determined to create an atmosphere of chaos. And a lot of people said, well, why would they want to create an atmosphere of chaos? I will tell you why. The first reason is they know that there's a large portion of our workforce that's eligible for retirement. In fact, every time something bad happens, these employees talking about, well, I'm ready to leave, or it's time for me to go, or I'm just waiting for an early out package. These employees, they want their talk to start being action. So they're creating as much chaos as they can in the workforce to keep these employees' minds set on going off into the sunset and living out their golden years. But the other reason is they are determined not to convert any more PSEs. Because a lot of people might not be aware, but nationwide, since 2014, the Postal Service has been forced to convert 47,000 PSEs. Let me repeat that number. 47,000 PSEs. And do you think that management converted these PSEs out the goodness of their heart? Absolutely not. Because of the union's constant vigilance and our determination to create a workforce into the future, that the Postal Service, in particular the language in the contract 37381, that says that they have a responsibility to create desirable duty assignments out of all the PSE hours and the overtime hours. Well, now they have moved on to abolishments. Now you say, why would they want to abolish these jobs? It's clear to me, and I'm about to explain it to you, why they want to abolish these jobs. The contract, if there is a residual vacancy, normally they would take a person from E-reassign, or they would take the next three PSEs, or depending on the size of your installation, the next 6 PSEs, and they would have to convert them to full-time regular. But there's a caveat in that language that says they do not have to convert if they have any unencumbered employee. What is an unencumbered employee? That's an employee that does not have an assignment. So now, all of a sudden, they abolish all these jobs, make all these unassigned regulars, because there's no place to put them, and they're trying to encourage you to bid. Now, they purposely abolished these jobs just before the bid, because the contract says if you voluntarily bid into another job, you relinquish your retreat rights. So now they want you to bid into another job because you're scared of being an unencumbered employee. So now once you bid, you relinquish your retreat rights, and they're trying to have people working in the section. And when we win these grievances to bring these employees back into the section, then the argument is going to be they do not have retreat rights because they voluntarily bid into another job. And the other thing is, if management has a residual vacancy and they have these unencumbered employees, they would have to place the unencumbered employee into the residual vacancy instead of converting the PSE. But it gets worse than that. A lot of people don't pay attention, and they don't realize that the Republicans have control of the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. And that's a very dangerous time for us. Why is that so dangerous? Because the Postal Service is trying to create a message to the American people, but to a lot of these political leaders, that we have so many employees that we don't know what to do with, running around unassigned, but our contract, in particularly the no layoff clause, prevents us from being able to get rid of these employees. And next year, 2018, in September, our contract is up. So now they're going to try to go after our no layoff clause under the false understanding that we have so many employees running around unassigned, yet they have no intentions on getting rid of any of the PSCs. The contract says that they're supposed to reduce their PSC complement as much as possible if the work does not exist for these employees, but they're not reducing their PSC complement because the work absolutely does exist. The problem that we have here is, what are we to do? We have to fight. We have to give statements. We have to be vigilant, like when they backfill our jobs that they sent us from and they send other employees in there to work. We have to give statements. Let me be clear. We are not going to win this battle through the grievance procedure. We are not going to win this battle arguing with management. We have to, the contract has its place, but we have to sometime go beyond the contract and we have to hit the streets. I have been talking to a lot of our political leaders, both nationally and locally, to get them to understand that the Postal Service is purposely degrading the service to the American people. Not getting rid of our jobs, but degrading the service to the American people, because the argument has to be around the service that the people deserve that the Postal Service is trying to take away. That when these lines are going outside the door and management's answer to them is to further reduce the staffing under a false narrative that the workload no longer exists, which is not true, and we know that. But I need your help to help me prove this argument. Not make this argument, because I can make this argument, but I need your help to prove this argument. When you're not on the right operation and management sends you to this section and that section and whatever section, and you do not hit on the right operation, I do not have the evidence to show where management is actually working you and to show that the work actually exists. I need your help, people. We have too few fighting against too many. And let me send this message to these supervisors. These supervisors who think that they are carrying the company line. These supervisors that think that they're hurting the employees by accessing them possibly in the future, abolishing these jobs, reverting these jobs. Well, when they get rid of the employees, you next. Because I've never seen a supervisor, you need a supervisor to tell a ghost what to do. If there are no employees, then there will be no need for the supervisors. Everybody, it's time for us to get on board and realize that we have to do our part in this fight. You must come to your union meetings to get more information. You must come to the rallies that we'll be calling, I'm pretty sure, in the near future. Staples is a perfect example. Do you think that we would have won the Staples battle in the grievance procedure? No, we would not have won this Staples battle in the grievance procedure. We won the Staples battle because we got off our butt and we got in the street and we sent the message to the American public and we sent the message to the postmaster that we would not take this lying down. Well, this is the same message that we must send now. And if we don't, our very existence is at stake. I don't know how else to tell you that we are in some very serious times. And everybody that does not belong to the member is to the union is doing the union a disservice, because we need everybody help. We need everybody to get involved. I get letter after letter after letter of people complaining, why am I letting management do this? And why am I letting management do that? I am not letting management doing anything. I am fighting them with every fiber in my body, but we cannot win this battle alone. We need help. We need all the members to step up to the plate and just simply do your part. If we can't get that, we're in trouble. I know ultimately at the end, I will be able to look in the mirror and say, Jonathan did everything that he could do. His administration did everything that they could do, because we're killing ourselves. We're working 15, 16, 17-hour days in this battle. What are you doing other than complaining? You cannot think that the job is just about overtime. If they said overtime, we wouldn't have no problems. Everybody would go over there and they would kill themselves. This is about survival. Survival. If we don't get involved, we will not survive. I hope that my message got through to you. I hope that in the very near future I will see you in the union meetings. I hope that you realize the seriousness of what we're dealing with right now, and I hope that you go to the contract. Read Article 37, and you also need to read Article 12, because that's what's going on right now. Stop talking about your rights until you know what your rights are. Article 37 makes it very clear what they can do, and once they reduce the complement in the section, then Article 12 kicks in. And then we're talking about in-section bidding and a lot of other things that I will be addressing in future videos, and I always address at the union meetings, and I hope to be addressing you face-to-face when you come out and join this fight. Thank you for our opportunity. God bless you, and goodbye.